What if I told you your buying decisions are not your own decisions? The marketeers, the companies decide what to sell you, how to position their products in your mind, and then you make decisions. Today, we will understand how companies study the consumers, how they sell them things, so that you become a rational buyer. If you're a business owner, you will understand how companies understand the consumers and then they make the products. Extremely important to understand that this is 99% of MBA. Customers do not come to you again if you satisfy their needs. Customer come to you again when you exceed their needs, when you go beyond their needs. So that's what consumer behavior tells you. In simple words, that is the definition which 1 million over 1 billion business people study. The consumer behavior is how individuals, groups select, buy, use, and dispose of products and services. Dispose of is extremely important because now the marketing guys are telling you that you have to replace your phone, you have to do this, you have to replace your sofa, you have to replace your the clothes, everything. They will tell you that you need to update it even though you know it's working extremely well. So this is the marketing that is pushing the people to buy more. Consumer behavior matters a lot because it helps you in better marketing decisions, it helps you in satisfying a customer, it helps you in competitive advantage. If you are a businessman, if you are a 21st century human, you must know that for Apple iPhone, people are ready to give $1,000. But for a Chinese brand, for a brand that is even equal to the quality of Apple, people will never pay more than $500. The reason is extremely simple. Apple has marketed itself in such a way that its position in consumer mind is high, even though Apple is manufacturing the products in China, same country where the low price things are produced, even though the Apple is paying same amount as compared to any other company for the production. Maybe there is slight higher sort of expense in the research and development, but when it comes to production, they are doing the same thing, almost same thing we can say, but the price is triple compared to the others, and this is all because of the marketing. So if you're a businessman and you want to make something like Apple, if you're a businessman you want to make something like Google. Yahoo existed in the world even before Google was introduced, but still Google surpassed it, and the only reason was the better marketing decisions. Marketing is not all the time about pushing, it is about understanding the customers, their needs. When you tell someone you need something, for instance, there's this famous philosophy that the consumers, when they might not know what they need, you show them that what are the changes in the technological world, the thing you are doing, for example the driving you are doing, the effort you are making, you can go at some place without even making that effort. So that is marketing. You sort of reduce the effort of the people. So this is the reason it matters a lot. This is the reason you must watch this lecture completely to understand the consumer behavior. What is a consumer then? A consumer is an individual or organization that purchases goods or services for use. So there are two different terms we use in the business domain. One is customer and other is consumer. So if you are buying something for your kid, if you're buying some gift, then you're a customer, you're not consumer. Consumer is the person who or organization who purchase good or services for their use. Or if you purchase something, you're giving it someone else, you are the customer, you are the purchaser, and the consumer is the person who will consume it. So consumer behavior versus buyer behavior. So that's the person who is buying. So there can be difference. Consumer behavior focuses on individuals while buyer behavior focuses on organizations and institutes. So when we see the organizational and institutes, they are supposed to be rational. They will never make emotional decision. But as long as humans are concerned, so they are they put they kind of pay for their emotions. For example, there is one extremely, I will make one thing extremely simple to you, and this is probably one of the best things in marketing you have ever learned. So as a human, we have few basic needs. For example, we need, I wrote here, food, F. Okay, we need shelter, we need safety. Okay, so these are basic things we need at basic level. So you will see a guy selling bread becomes a millionaire because bread is everywhere, people need it, bread and rice. So these are the basic needs, and marketers focus less on the basic needs. On the upper level, when our basic needs are met, we go for emotional needs, for belonging related stuff. So I am writing it EM. Over here, you can sell the people based on emotions. For example, you cannot charge more than maybe $50 for the bread, but you can charge for a toy even $1,000 because no emotions are involved. People will pay for it. Okay, people give sending some gift to their loved ones, so they will pay more. The upper side is self-esteem. When you say, okay, this is the great restaurant where all presidents come to have the food. Now food was a basic necessity at first stage when we were selling, but now when you say, oh, this is related to esteem, this is related to ego, if you eat here you are one of the biggest people on earth, this is the mobile phone only for you, we have produced just one phone and we are going to sell it for $100 million. Not possible, $1 million. Maybe we are selling it for $50,000. So this will be the only phone we have produced. Now people will say, okay, I have to satisfy my ego. I'm the only guy who have this thing. So this is the human part, emotional part. People buy things. So when it comes to consumers, obviously they have to. This, if you're a seller, you have to see their emotions. You have to target their emotions to earn more, to sell more. So coming towards the next, factors that influence the consumer behavior. What are those factors? Obviously, cultural factors, they impact the behavior a lot. Social factors, a lot. People in certain parties, they wear the same costume in the schools, colleges. There's a culture. So you have to follow that. You have to dress accordingly. You have to have the similar car as your colleagues. Sort of it becomes pressure, and obviously marketers play a role in it. Then personal factors, obviously, a person who likes content creation will definitely buy content creation stuff. A person who is a foodie, definitely he will buy things. A person who is sort of aesthetically good, but definitely his consumer behavior we must understand. And the last one is psychological factors. People make the buying decision because of the psychological factors. We will understand each factor individually. First, culture. Cultural factors, subculture, and social class shape consumer preferences. In every society, there is a social class, and their buying decisions are directly linked to their lifestyle. So maybe a person in the lower middle class, they have a sort of lifestyle. In the upper class, you will see the different lifestyle. In the what they call it, in the middle class, you will find different lifestyle. So their houses, their buying decision, everything matters. So as a marketer, as a business owner, you must understand it, that what kind of house will they live. So for example, lower middle class, they might need almari or the other type of furniture that is mostly less space consuming. If you go for the upper class, if they are living in the bigger houses, they might not need sort of those things that you hang on wall to cover your space. So accordingly, consumer behaviors are shaped by the culture, by their lifestyle. Social factors, family, reference groups, and social roles influence the decision. Obviously, a person having kids have a completely different buying behavior compared to a person who does not have kids. A person who is who have elder parents, definitely his buying behavior is completely different. And there are people, they come from the different groups, they have different habits. So definitely, according to their habits, if in your friends you have habit of going out, staying with friends, you have habit of there is another group that they're writers, they maybe stay home more, they write more. So every person has a different behavior. So social factors is also important for the consumers, and personal factors, obviously age. A person of 10 years buys different things compared to a person of 20 years or 30 years. Occupation, obviously, I am a professor, I'm a business consultant, I buy different things compared to what is, I'm not sure what is your profession. Maybe you are a student, you have definitely different preferences when it comes to buying on personal level. If you're a banker, you have different preferences. Then income plays a big role. Lifestyle also impacts the decisions, and personality. These are personal factors. Psychological factors, they also play a big role in our decisions. For instance, motivation, perception, learning, beliefs, and attitude. They are the ones, they play a role in our buying decisions. Now, when it comes to motivation in consumers, there can be the two sides. One motivation can be internal, external. Internal in something that push us to satisfy our needs. External is someone when someone else motivates us to buy something. In consumer behaviors, the Maslow hierarchy theory we already discussed, it matters a lot. First thing, the when it comes to our motivation, physiological needs we buy for physiological needs, we buy for safety needs when it comes to home, we buy for social needs to sort of fill our emotional needs, we buy things, we make the consumer decisions by steam, and then last is self actualization when you we reach the highest level as a human being and impact on others behavior. There's one important thing, that is perception. Often it is said that perception is reality. This is the reason that companies spend billions on the campaigns in the marketing. You can see on TV everywhere. They're not just selling anything. We are the top brand. Some celebrity advertising their product. So they are sort of making their perception. What they do, how consumers select. Okay, you often see the big celebrities saying this is my first choice. Why? Because they are making the perception. The celebrity might not be using that product in life, but they want to build a perception in the consumers. So the perception is built how consumers select, organize, and interpret the information. Changes in consumer behavior arise because of the experience. So one of the best thing that companies are doing, they give you trials. They put things on the table. If you're a businessman, you must let the people experience it. Clothing, shoes, everything, learning is part of it, because learning helps you make the decision to buy. Attitudes and beliefs also play important role in consumer behavior. Enduring valuations influence purchase decisions. Consumer decision making process, this is the most important thing that you need to understand as a businessman, as business professional, that consumer first need to do the need recognition. Okay, a person will never buy something he thinks he does not need it. So you first give him the sort of do the advertising in such way that he needs it. This can be through the celebrities, this can be through the advertising over TV, this can be through the social media, whatever. Or in some cases, genuinely consumers need something. So for instance, maybe if I'm recording, I need a better camera. So that is the need recognition. The one customer identifies the need, then he searches for it. Then you must ensure you do your marketing in such a way that your product is available on all the recently AI engines. ChatGPT is recommending, telling about your product, Gemini, Copilot. And once they search the information, they find definitely different products, and then they do the evaluation. So they see different options available and choose one, and then finally they purchase. Once they purchase, they have post purchase behavior. So throughout this consumer decision making process, you must understand every aspect. So every person has a different buying behavior. Few people have complex buying behavior. Few have dissonant reducing buying behavior. They want to reduce their size of dissonance. And there can be habitual buying behavior and variety seeking buying behavior. As a businessman, you must address all the buying behaviors of the people. Post purchase behavior, companies must address. Post purchase is about consumer satisfaction and dissatisfaction after purchase. It is extremely important in social media and AI era, because consumers share their opinions, and based on that opinion, other people decide to buy or not buy. So students must understand the consumer behavior for exam preparation. They must understand their buying behavior as a case study to understand the consumer buying behavior. Consumer behavior for professionals, they must understand the segmentation, targeting concept. We have a detailed lecture on market segmentation and consumer targeting. You will find our top 100 business concept courses that is equal to more than, I think, MBA, at least equal to MBA. So digital consumer behavior is that people these days give online reviews, social media influence, and word of mouth matters a lot. People prefer these days celebrity over their known people. So if I tell my friends that I am using this thing and it is a good thing, it has more impact compared to a celebrity telling them. So consumer behavior in AI era, people are getting personalized recommendations and predictive analytics. So challenges in understanding consumer behavior are changing. Information is everywhere. Benefits of studying consumer behavior will be that you will create a strong brand and consumer loyalty. So my sister is also my daughter is adding also value in the lectures these days. So key takeaways are that consumers are complex and their behavior drives marketing success. So discussion questions, if you want to understand it more, you can sort of tell me in the comment section how digital media is changing the buying behavior, role of emotions in decisions. So we discussed it a lot. The digital media is sort of making things personalized. In AI era, everybody's behavior is being tracked, and the platforms are recommending them products as per their behavior. Emotionals play a big role. If you are emotional, chances are you will buy and you will also pay the higher price. Thank you so much. See you in the next lecture.